WEDF Q&A session. This is Frank Dawg, and, well, it feels like I'm commentating, but I'm not. But I'm being joined alongside Homer, Ocean Jackson, Otto.
Yo.
Maybe. Otto's excited to be here.
Otto is here for the party.
Today we're going to answer all of your questions. Let's get started. Rugby League 3 we asked, will Edge retire in WEDF?
No.
I guess it's more up to Frank Dawg.
There's just so many.
I mean, WEDF is meant to be a fantasy league anyway, and stuff and things and stuff. Well, basically the best way to put it is that, you know, we have guys like Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, people who like legitimately in real life are like either injured to the point where they really shouldn't be in a wrestling ring or would be nowhere near a wrestling ring. But, you know, at the end of the day, this is all fantasy. So really, you know, I don't think Edge should retire, because it's up to Frank Dawg really who he wants to use.
Guys like Ric Flair still competing at times. Like, say, like Kevin Nash and Shawn Michaels.
Mm-hmm. Undertaker, although, you know, he's
Goldberg, Lesnar.
Yes.
Stone Cold, The Rock.
DDP. He appeared one time, but he still wrestled.
Disco Inferno. Or wait, has he retired?
No, he hasn't. He's just faded off into obscurity.
Disco Inferno and Val Venus were released, I think.
Oh.
Which, of course, upset Danny.
Don't you mean Hot Cobra Guy 95?
No, Hot Cobra Guy 95 doesn't like the sexy 70s.
The only C8Ws or real wrestlers I wouldn't use are deceased wrestlers. I would not use Umaga or...
Just out of respect.
There's a difference between a wrestler being alive and a dead wrestler. Like, leave. Can't believe I'm saying this. Ironically, I think I know everybody. I think y'all know where I'm going with this. Just leave the memories alone, stuff and things.
Well, I don't want to change a thing. Is what it is.
And we'll hold him here in our memory.
Yes.
All right. Our next question is Bloods 5.031. He asked, do you believe that when WEDF moved to SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, did it take WEDF to a new level?
Why
I really
game?
think
SmackDown vs. Raw 2009 was an upgrade for me over 2008 because this SmackDown, I really didn't like 2008 too well at all. At least 2009 was like a little improvement.
I really think ever since 2008, the WWE games have gotten much better for the video game wrestling aspect.
I think the difference is that they focused on more important things than just, you know, I mean, because in 2008 they had the stupid attribute system which didn't work. So then they went back, and I mean, each year they've picked something else to focus on, and it's worked for them. So
yeah,
I also like the fact that 2009 introduced the reverse Irish whips. That's actually one of my favorite moves. It makes the match more realistic in reversals.
It also introduced a little bit more elements to the tag team wrestling aspect too, with all the hot tags and tag finishers and whatnot.
Also, I believe that was the first game where you could stand on the apron.
I think 2010 was.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yes. I don't think you were able to stand on the apron on 2009.
Well, I didn't own the game, so I was just bullshitting.
Yeah. 2009 also let you make finishers. I know it's not a huge thing.
Yes, but
also had the highlight reel, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
360, but I never had the highlight reel because I used PS2 until
the only league I've ever seen that's really effectively use a highlight reel, and don't take my word for this, but I'm pretty sure FSCW has done some pretty interesting stuff with their highlight reels.
Yeah.
During 2010, I used the highlight reel a whole lot, especially later in the season, because I just hated that outside. You couldn't see anything that was.
Oh yeah, that camera angle is
Oh
horrible.
my god. Don't even get me started on how much those camera angles sucked. It was even just the same way in 2009. No.
No, I think 2009s were better because I think they stayed neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they still the angles were still there though.
Oh no, wait, no, never mind. Sorry, I was thinking of
2009 had the floor angle.
yeah.
The floor angle was fine, but 2010 was just like, what the fuck
What?
are you doing?
What the fuck were they thinking?
Yeah.
So I think
Next question, I think it's Kane Ben 1. Can you make a Sin Cara call, please?
we can download one.
Yeah. I usually download all my CAWs.
Or
Oh,
yeah.
or-
Having them debut till after Royal Reckoning because of everything going on. It's just really hard to debut a big name that I want to use a little bit and have them being overshadowed. Like they're right now, I'm doing like the bragging rights storyline.
Plus, the game doesn't have his botched jump into the ring,
Yes.
so
Doesn't have his,
Oh, but
Does-
another thing to think about is that when WEDF he downloads his calls, guys, just make sure that WEDF never ever downloads that horrible, abysmal that thing he called Brock Lesnar from the beginning ever again.
You just had to bring that up.
Yes, I did. Because if I didn't, Otto would have done it.
I
you know-
was thinking about that.
also Mick_Foley.
Yes. _Foley. Never forget.
Yeah, I'll probably change that. At least in 2011, I like it better because you edit the superstars, like the way
Yes.
they look, their entrances.
That should have been like the way from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, except the only thing that's really stupid about editing calls is that if they have paint tools on it, but you don't want to use that paint tool and you want to use a different paint tool, any other paint tool that was on the call gets removed like that.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's always
Hopefully-
flaws with stuff.
Hopefully, they'll be fixing that in 2012. But anyway, Sin Cara will be debuting. He'll probably debut after Royal Reckoning.
And he will
Mark-
continue to botch everywhere.
Mark your calendars.
Royal Reckoning's in August, so yeah, about August 2011.
Yes, mark your calendars right now.
Yes.
Anyway, Spinny Hulk Hogan's 637. Are you at legit never letting AJ Styles in WEDF? That's kind of like the Sin Cara question. It's just so hard to debut a name. I'm going to use AJ real big. Like, he'll be debuting sometime in the summertime.
I think the other thing about it is that I'm not sure that WEDF knows a lot about the TNA guys, too.
Yeah, I really don't keep up with
Another thing that's dangerous is that when you take a guy who is as popular and who's as big as AJ Styles and you bring him in, people expect him to automatically be in the World Championship picture.
Yeah.
Or
But nobody-
somewhere near it.
Or somewhere near, but you can't ever debut a guy in the world title scene. And so you bring somebody in, you have him gradually work up, but that doesn't make people happy. And so it's hard, and it's hard for Frank Dawg to please people. But he does the best he can. So
Yeah, it's just so hard to push 20 big names that you like. It's just hard, I guess, select just a select few.
He pushed
another-
everyone. No one gets pushed.
Yeah. It's another thing to establish. It's really hard, especially right now when you're in a new colleague like I am with new TNA. Problem I have is I have so many guys I want to push, I like, and want to be in one certain spot. But eventually, I'm gonna have to get to a point where I need to establish a pecking order and just show the ranks. Like, okay, this guy is here, this guy is here. I like this guy, we're gonna put him here. I don't like this guy as much, let's put him down here. You know, it's just so hard to get everything organized and have it make sense when you just like everybody on your roster.
Yes.
That's pretty much why guys like Suspect, Zack Starr, even Icorn and Ochadex really, they're starting to get pushed more because of established guys like Morrison and now Miz and others like that.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You have, you can't. You have to establish somebody in one position before you can push them up into the next position. So,
and original calls are very, very hard to establish when they're in a league as big as WEDF. You have to start them somewhere.
Yeah.
Which is why Ochadex, especially if he gets a world title shot, I mean, he's in that Team Angle group, but it's not going to go right at all, especially if he gets a world title shot. There's going to be a big falling out there. That Angle Alliance is just... It's doomed from the start on purpose.
Well, you can't expect Ochadex, seriously, to get the world title right away, especially when it's like, only his first year in? You could make the same assumption with Danny Jackpot, but that was more or less a big mistake, I think, more than actual...
More Dr. Pizza, me just messing with him, and more than anything else.
Yeah, and that's a move that some people still don't get to this day.
I forgot about that.
The way Danny's been pushed, though, has been real good.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Well, this is why you really haven't seen El Rojo Mexico or any of those other guys lately. It's just hard to get him TV time.
Yeah, plus, in any case, Rojo Mexico, he was made by Steven Sprider, I believe.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Rojo is not as big of a name as Sprider is in other parts of the Vivianverse, so it's especially going to be harder for Rojo to get some airtime anywhere.
And Rojo isn't nearly as serious.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Rageaholic33 asked, I'm not sure if this is ever going to happen, but if you could choose any CAWs from another league that hasn't been in WEDF yet, who would you choose? You've seen the way I've actually had Dorf Littleton actually appear on Raw. I might actually set something big for Kofi Kingston to feud with in the future.
And Dorf Littleton is one of those CAWs that's pretty over in other leagues, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, Littleton is probably one of the best original calls out there, too. Another thing I would think would be pretty interesting if it hadn't been done like a million times already by now in the Vivianverse, Connor Wine, so he could work a program with Zack Starr.
Yeah, so that hasn't already been done.
I think if that feud, I want to say if that feud hasn't been run into the ground already, then maybe that would be a good thing to do. But
the thing about the Connor Wine Zack Starr thing is Zack Starr benefited from that heel turn in WEDF. It could have been just this generic Rey Mysterio overcome odds thing. It just didn't click at all.
By the way, you're welcome, because I was the one who instigated that.
That's right.
So,
if there's any other CAWs I would choose, there's really not that many because I've had so many.